Hey, Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline and fans. Yes, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all important comic book review. So, you Frontline fans can make a decision what comic books to buy. And today, fans, we are talking about Superman issue number 41 that continues the Truth storyline, but within the Superman series itself, it kind of goes back before Superman lost his powers. So, does this make sense in the Truth storyline? Well, we'll see. I think it kind of ruins certain things when you read this book, but I'll explain that later. We have our new writer that's on this issue, and it is um, Jean Lang, Jean Lun Yang, and obviously the artwork is done by John Romita Jr. Again, some fans are not a fan of his artwork. He kind of looks anime-ish here with his eyebrows going up in the air like this, and he's hanging on by a jet. But yeah, Ramirez Jr., I mean, you know his artwork if you've read Kick-Ass. A lot of his facial expressions and people all look the same. A lot of lines in the characters. Just some you would say think that it doesn't even look like Superman in certain aspects in visual and facial expressions in here. So yeah. John Romita Jr. just not my favorite artist at this time. I wish we did get a different artist on here. Here we get to see a picture that we've already seen before, which is the solar flare picture. So just things that, nothing revolutionary here, nothing different. Even the paneling is pretty basic, just your squares and rectangles. So nothing here that really shot out at me and said, "Oh wow, this is a great looking book." So what did I think about the story? Well, the story takes you before Superman lost his powers, and it's basically has to do with kind of what you saw in issue number 40, where you saw Superman was getting beat up with these guys with these weapons. Well, now in this issue, you get to see how these weapons were developed. And it was basically through the guy that was just recently elected senator, and they're having these ginormous 3D printers that creates these weapons and tanks and all this other stuff in here, and then you see that throughout the actual issue, and you get to see Clark investigate with Jimmy in this issue about all these weapons, and so the reason why Clark went down there to begin with was because he got this anonymous tip. And we don't know who this person is, so it is a mystery. But however, this person does know Clark's identity. So that's the one thing that has me intrigued here. I'm not sure who this person is. And this person does these things for the person on the phone. Says he had to also you know, capture a girl with dreadlocks. And again, the person knows the identity. And, Lois winds up getting into the whole ordeal about helping with the underground weapons trafficking control. And I felt that Lois in this issue was also a little bit like annoying. She was so pushy. Like, I get that's kind of her personality going after the story, but she was like almost annoying in this issue. Like, to the point where it's like, dude, Lois, just leave Jimmy and Clark alone. Um, Also, towards the end of this issue, Clark is forced to use his solar flare against one of these gigantic 3D creature machine guys here, where I thought it was a weak ploy for him to use this solar flare. It's like whenever he gets the chance now, it's like, oh, I'm going to use this solar flare, even though it eliminates my powers for 24 hours. It's just like he just uses it like it's nothing, and it's just like I just don't like that. I don't like the way it was used here at all, especially against some robot. I mean, it's not even a major enemy or a major threat just because it had him tangled up for a minute. So he uses the flare, loses his powers, and I just didn't agree with that. Like, why are you willing to give up your powers so easily? Again, we get the anonymous caller, finds out that knows Clark's secret. Clark is in panic. He goes to Jimmy Olsen. He's like, what's going on? Did you slip? Did you tell anybody? You know, he's freaking out. And at the end of the issue, you're left with this cliffhanger with Clark getting shot. And it's kind of like Clark dead or alive. And it's like, it's a very weak cliffhanger because when you're done reading it, you're like, well, you know he's alive because we've already read where everything is ahead in time, where he doesn't have his powers at all. So it was just a weak cliffhanger. The thing that keeps me intrigued here is I'm looking for this mystery person who knows that Clark is Superman already before his whole identity was revealed to the world. So I'm interested to find that out. But the overall story really wasn't that interesting to me. It was just, I was expecting more here, and I found Lois a little bit annoying. The enemy here wasn't very interesting. And yeah, so after reading it, I'm going to give it probably 3 and 3/4 out of 5 stars. It was probably my weakest issue that I've read so far this week. I was expecting a little bit more from this. So I will continue to read it. Guys, in the comments below, tell me what you thought of this book. Was it boring? Was it satisfactory to you? Was this what you expected? Were you expecting more? Were you expecting Superman to, I don't know, see his powers lost here? Whatever it is, just leave me in the comments below. Uh, yep, 3 1/4 out of 5 stars from me. So guys, as always, thank you for watching A Comic Frontline. And until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.